Welcome back to Pink Collar Confessions. I'm your host, Adriana Villanueva Sarella. This is our Pink Collar Candidate Series segment, where we're sitting down with candidates to talk about who they are beyond the title, how they lead, and what really matters when it comes to the people they're serving. I'm super excited today. I get to sit here with a good friend of mine, and today we are joined by State Rep Donovan McKinney.
Hey, how's everybody? And then you guys too. I see y'all.
So, Donovan, can you tell me what district you serve?
Yeah, so I'm currently a state representative. I serve in the 11th House District. That is Northeast Detroit and the south side of Warren. I always like to say, especially when I'm traveling, if you watch the 8 Mile movie, Eminem,
Yeah.
that is my district.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I represent Eminem's old trailer park as well as where he grew up at on Dresden Street on the Detroit side of 8 Mile, not too far away from Osborne High School.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of a rough area, rough
A
on
little,
the
I mean, a
ends.
little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
rough around the edges, but
Yeah.
the people are the most amazing thing. Like
Yeah.
they're some of the most authentic folks you'll meet on the planet. And I grew up in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with my mom, my brother, and my grandmother, and we moved over 13 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Across the city, but spent the vast majority of my life on the northeast side. And now I get to represent it now with living there with my beautiful wife, and we have 3 amazing children.
A
Donovan.
new baby, too.
Yeah, listen. So we got the 2 boys, the 2 toddler boys, and my oldest son just turned 4 in January, and then our middle son turned 2 on Valentine's Day, and then the baby girl who runs the household. So any girl dads out there, I need some advice, because as soon as I held her for the first time, I melted, and she runs everything. She just turned 7 months.
That's fun.
Yeah.
7 months is crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's wild.
that's a fun time.
Yeah,
but
you gotta thank my
you
wife,
gotta keep
'cause
your wife.
Whew.
Your wife is on it. She's
Yeah.
she's the best.
she
So.
is. I'm glad she still loves me after all this crazy stuff that's going on.
It's probably rough, huh? Like, how do they adapt to you running for? So you're running for Congress.
Yeah. Like it's a lot on them. Like it's already a lot being a state elected official, because we're one of 10 states in Michigan as part of a full-time legislature. So we're always in community, and we take the job very seriously.
Yeah.
And I right now represent the poorest house district in the state of Michigan. $14,000 is the median income, and so
Oh my gosh.
like you got to think about the issues that are going on day to day in our community, and we show up for them. And so it is hard on the family. They try to come with me wherever I go sometimes,
Yeah.
but now running for Congress in a bigger office,
Yeah, bigger
it's
district.
a lot. Yeah, you got to be everywhere, but I
Yeah.
try to pull them along with me
Yeah.
and spend as much time with them as possible.
So
Yeah.
what areas are you running?
Yeah, so I'm running for Congress in Michigan's mighty 13th district.
Got
So
it.
for those who tuning in, that is all the Grosse Pointe community, so 5 of the Grosse Pointes, all of Harper Woods, on the entire east side of Detroit, all of Hamtramck and Highland Park. If you take 8 Mile down, I pretty much have Wyoming. It's kind of like the hard border, give or take, of Detroit, and you take Wyoming all the way down from 8 Mile as far south as you can go. So that's Detroit for you. And then I also have parts of like, downtown, Corktown, southwest Detroit, and then it pops back out into the suburbs downriver. So I have Ecorse, River Rouge. I have Lincoln Park, Allen Park, Southgate, Wyandotte. But I also have half of Dearborn Heights, all of Melvindale, Taylor, Romulus, and Wayne.
Oh my gosh.
So it's huge.
So way different.
Yeah,
but-
about 800,000 people.
Yeah,
Crazy big.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
So you're Donovan McKinney, state rep, running for Congress.
Yes.
But I want to know who you are
Yeah.
outside of that role too. Today,
Yeah.
I want to get to know, in general, what do you do? What are
Yeah,
you,
no, that's a good question. And like, outside of that, I'm a husband and a father first and foremost. I'm a son, a grandson, and I just try to do everything I can for people.
Yeah.
And I tell the story all the time about my grandmother who helped raise me. She always told me 2 things in life. She said, number 1, count your blessings. You have food on your table, you got clothes on your back, a roof over your head. You know, you might have a hoopty vehicle because I drive an old school pickup truck that my grandfather and I fixed up years ago. But, you know, you at least can get around.
Yeah.
But she said the smaller things count your blessings. You got your body, your mental state, you know, like just really count the small blessings.
We're here.
Yeah. And then number two, she will always say no matter what happens in your life, there will always be people worse off than you. There will always be people better off than you. But to never fight the urge to give. Mm-hmm. Never fight the urge to give. So I'll put that on my first piece of literature when I ran for state rep. And I currently live by those principles right now as I'm running for Congress, because it's accountability measure for myself to always remember that this is always with the people, and that's my tagline. And this is never about us, right? This is about utilizing our God-given talents and abilities to serve God's children. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was like one thing that I loved about you when we first met, because I think we first met last year.
Yeah.
And we did a stroll around Wyandotte.
It was so cool.
Yeah, we went around all the stores and the restaurants, and I just feel so comfortable talking to you and just being in the same room with you. Like, I feel uplifted all the time, and I appreciate that because, you know, you don't get that with everybody.
That's
so,
true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, we try to be humble enough to understand that people are going through a lot, right? Especially now in this moment. And I don't know if you know this, but, you know, I talked about my current state house district being the poorest state rep district in Michigan. I'm running to represent the 5th poorest congressional district in the country.
Oh, wow.
So there's 435 districts, congressional districts across the nation. I'm running for the top 5 poorest districts.
Wow.
And so, you know, like right now, people are struggling to make ends meet. Some people don't know where the next meal is going to come from. Like, it's so much pressure and weight on their shoulders. And so what at least I can do as elected official and one of the leaders in the community, hoping to not only represent you in the halls of Lansing, but, you know, one day soon in the halls of D.C., like, it's my responsibility to try to preserve some of that hope and like, you know, just lead with my heart and give people everything that I have. And that's what this campaign is about, spreading love, because there's so much hate and negativity in the world.
So much hate.
And, you know, we want to lead by example, and we want to lead and show people that you can do it the God-honest right way if you put your ego aside. And I don't know if I told you this, Argiana, ego to me stands for easing God out. Easing God out. And so every day I really think about, like, humbling myself and, like, putting myself in somebody else's shoes. You know what somebody's going through in these moments.
Yeah. When I feel overwhelmed or something comes up with counsel even, I know I can call you any moment and be like, I need help. What do I do here? And you're like, here's what you do. And what can I do to help you too? So that I appreciate that all the time. And that's what we need in our district is somebody that's going to answer the phone and talk to us and know what to say and help us out here, because as you said, it's one of the poorest in the country. So it's important to have people that have our back.
I agree. And we need people who are not going to pick up the phone, but that's going to do everything they possibly can to help solve those issues.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people get the spin around when they connect with their government officials, and we don't ever want to do that.
Talk to this person. This person.
We want to make sure to help connect the dots in that moment, and that's what we're good at. And if you send us to Congress, you're going to get more of that because our communities deserve better.
Yeah. So what did you do before you were a state rep?
So prior to me being elected, like immediately prior, I was working for an environmental justice think tank. So I was the first generation college student out of my immediate family on my mom's side, right? I didn't grow up on my father's side. My dad was in prison most of my childhood, so I didn't really get to know that side of the family until later on in life. But my mom, like, it's crazy because I helped inspire her to go to college. So she saw I got a full ride academic scholarship to the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
We're national champions.
I'm a Michigan girl.
I might have like maroon on and gray, but I usually got my Michigan water bottle over there. It's over there sitting on the table.
I'm a Michigan girl too.
But yeah, we're national champs. You know, we're gonna get that basketball. Like basketball, we just got. We're gonna get the football. So pretty soon, like watch out Ohio State, we coming. But I say all this to say, like it is a blessing to utilize like my college degree. I graduated from the Ford School of Public Policy. I was always a policy nerd and writing, different papers and doing research. And, like, I just always wanted to help people. I just didn't know what I was going to do in life. And, God opened up so many doors, and I was able to really just dive in. So right prior to me becoming state rep, I was working for Climate Power, Environmental Justice think tank. And,
Wow.
I was meeting with different coalition partners and, like, working out the Justice 40 initiatives and rolling that stuff out with overburdened communities like we have in the Mighty 13th, dealing with, environmental justice issues like unclean air and unclean water, just like we're going through right now in our downriver communities in Detroit.
Yeah.
And so, it was fun. I did a lot of work on that stuff, made a lot of money. Like, I was making multi-six figures. And then, I literally God called me. He was like, listen, you need to run for office again. And I ran before, and I lost. But he was like, I think it's your time now. And so I prayed about it, got my wife on board, and we ended up making history.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we became the first black person to ever represent Macomb County in the state legislature. And the first black, from what I was told, to represent majority white district outright. Both voting population and then just regular population as well. So made history, and now we're looking to make history again in Congress. We'll be one of the youngest person of color, if not the youngest, ever elected in Michigan's
That'd
history.
be amazing.
Yeah.
What's something that you've done in your district that you're, like, super proud of, that you think every day, like, this is why?
On this campaign, I'll give you a couple answers. On this campaign, I would say, like, we're running a grassroots campaign. So
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I meant for
the district.
Your district you're in now for state.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah. So I would say the most, what I'm proud of, okay, so I had a constituent of mine. He was paroling out. He called me because as he was in prison, he was taking a CDO class.
Okay.
Like simulating all that stuff. And, like, he passed with flying colors. He gets home to the Secretary of State's office, and they flagged him. And they said, you can't get a license. He's like, why I can't get a license? And they said it was an old state law in the books from, like, over 30 years ago that said if you get I think 2 moving violations, which you can get within 1 traffic stop.
Yeah.
And if you never had a license before, and you get these 2 tickets, so usually they give you a ticket for, not having a license and then whatever else they pulled you over for. If you get 2 traffic tickets, you have to wait 3 additional years. After you get everything adjudicated through the courts and all those fines and fees paid for, you have to wait 3 additional years to petition the state in order to receive a license.
Oh.
And so he calls me. He's like, Rep, if you don't change this law, I'm going back underground.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, snap, because he got locked up when he was 17. He spent 19 years behind bars.
We don't want this, yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me try to figure it out. And Lord and behold, it was 81 words in the Michigan Driver's Vehicle Code that talked about that 3-year and all the fines and fees associated. By the grace of God, we saw that. I got it was bipartisan support. I got it through the state Senate. It passed last term 33-3 in the state Senate.
That's great.
And it passed the state House, like, I think, by super bipartisan margin. And it went on the governor's desk. It got signed into law. It became law this time last year, so April of 2025, it became law. And you know how many folks are impacted by this law?
Yeah, how many?
2.5 million people.
Wow.
So the smallest changes can have the most tremendous impacts, right?
Yeah.
Like just eliminated 81 words. The fines and fees associated in that 3-year waiting period changed a lot of people's lives. And that was the most proud. I didn't realize it was going to have that much of an impact, but it did.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
People don't understand the difficulties people have, too, coming out of prison. So
yeah.
If they can't get the help that they need, they're just going to go back into that world.
That's true. And it's not just about reentry and return to citizens. It's about the fact that we don't have real mass comprehensive transit in our region. And that's what I'm big proponent on. And so in the meantime, what you're going to do when you take somebody's license away, you're taking away their livelihood, their ability to move around freely. Yeah,
especially here in
yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, because the buses aren't
not like Chicago
connected.
where, you don't need a car at all. This is, we need a car to get where we need to
You
go.
do. You do.
You can't go to work. You can't have a house, nothing like that. So that's great. That's a wonderful thing that you've done here.
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm excited about it. We got a lot more work to do, but yeah, trying to eliminate as many barriers as possible for people.
Yeah.
You know.
So what do people in everyday service-based jobs need that they're not getting? What do you think they need that they're not getting right now?
I would say, everybody talks about affordability crisis, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, right? Top 5 poorest districts in the country. Like right now, people are struggling to just get by.
To get groceries, gas.
Yeah. Groceries, gas, auto insurance, health insurance, like child care. You know a little bit about child care. You got your youngest boy.
Yeah. He's 4 and he's been in daycare we're really lucky here in Wyandotte because we have a really great program that's helpful.
Good.
But not everybody has that.
No.
And it's still expensive. So
totally expensive. Like for our oldest son, who just turned 4, we're paying more in full-time child care for one of our kids, the oldest one, than we do in our mortgage.
I know.
So, like, how are you supposed to survive over that? And I'm a state rep. I make 5 times the median income of my current district. Like, if I'm struggling day to day, just imagine.
How's everybody else doing it?
With somebody making $14K on fixed income. So, on the federal level, what we're looking to do is ensure that everybody has access to health care, like a Medicare for all. We absolutely need that. One of the biggest issues I hear all the time is, well, how are you going to pay for that? And I'm like, well, we got this administration right now in D.C.
is thinking about taking it down right now. Yeah, taking the health care away.
Not just taking it away, but they'd rather spend it on forever wars and instigating fights overseas.
After we were told they weren't.
Exactly. And we got so many people struggling here. So I'm saying if we can afford that, spending $1 billion a day just for weapons in Iran, not for military personnel, just for weapons, then we have enough money here to make sure that every single person with pre-existing conditions are covered.
It's the proper
Making sure that every child that needs that care gets it. Making sure that those seniors out there who are living on fixed income can afford their prescription drugs. What are we doing in America?
Yeah.
Like, that is why we're running, and that's why we're meeting this moment. And that's why they're afraid of us. And we're gonna show the people, and we're gonna show the rest of the country that Michigan's Mighty 13th is ready for real representation.
I think that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for your race. I think this is one of my favorite ones coming up here. It's been going on for a while, but it's just we need you in that spot. We need the help. We need we need people that care about us. And I've said it before, and I'll say it 100 times. I need somebody in Congress here that cares more about the people than their face being shown all the time, and being on a billboard on 75. Like, I want people to answer the phones and not send me to their field rep immediately to take care of me, So, especially when I'm a council person. And that's what we have right now. That we have somebody that doesn't know what's going on. So, I know. We'll get out of that.
But no, you're so true, though.
We'll get out of that. So what made you say, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to run for Congress?
So, okay, I asked God 4 things. I said, 1, how do you get my wife on board? Because, we got a young family, and it's really hard on them. I know we talked about it earlier in the conversation. And so when she got on board, I was like, okay, that's check 1. The other 3 things, number 2 was, how do you clear the field? Because usually everybody and their moms run for these seats, right? And it's usually a crowded field. And that's how my opponent keeps winning, is the votes get split. He's able to have a competitive advantage on the money side and, edges out a win. This time is a little different. It's pretty much just me and him right now. And we're hoping to keep it that way. We'll see after filing deadline, but it's a smaller.
When's the filing deadline?
I think it's whatever that is, next Tuesday, I believe. It's April 22nd.
21st or
21st, something like that.
Around there.
But not a lot of people are running, or if they was going to run, they're supporting us. They're like,
Yeah.
you know what? We see the vision. We see what you guys are building. Number 3, how do you raise the money? And how do you do it in an honest way? You know, without having to rely on the corporate agenda and corporate PAC dollars and just dirty dollars, right? Dirty money.
Ugh.
And like by the grace of God, grassroots campaign, we already raised over $1 million with no corporate PAC money,
That's awesome.
no APAC, no anything, just strictly, you know, a lot of it from the people, just
I
organic.
don't think that a lot
Yeah.
of people know or understand how much money it is to run for office and how much money you need to raise
Yeah.
to run for office.
That's true.
Because you say $1 million, and I mean that sounds like a lot to everybody, but that's about what you need. Like, yeah.
So we got to raise
Yeah.
another $1.5 million and
Yeah.
some change. So like, you know, but you know, if I was taking corporate money or whatever, like I would have
would've
probably
been
been
easy.
4 or 5 million. But we're doing it this way because we want to show the rest of the country that it can be done like this.
It can.
And why not start right here in the mighty 13th in this historical seat of John Conyers? And so the 4th thing I asked God, I said, I need a team. I need people. I need a coalition. And USA Today, they did a feature in our race about a month and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we were quoted in there saying we have the biggest and baddest coalition in the nation. And it's so true because we have over 100+ endorsements that we
Yeah.
rolled out. From the lieutenant governor to the county executives to all the, you know, a lot of
To
the
me.
state leaders to the city council folks
Yep.
and people who won't normally endorse, like they're coming out and support because they're recognizing that we're going to show up for them.
Yeah.
And like you talked about
And
earlier,
we need somebody that's
Yeah.
going to show up.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. And so, you know, we got the unions, the faith leaders, so people are backing us. And so it is nice to have that large of a coalition. But it's our opportunity to show the rest of the world that you can do it the God-honest way.
Yeah.
You know, if you follow your heart and you put aside your ego, like anything's possible. You
Yeah.
can really be in Congress. I never knew at this young age, at 33, I'm in my Jesus year. Shout out Jesus. But I never knew we would be in this moment, in this position. But it's bigger than me. It's deeper than politics.
We're only 3 years apart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm just like, you're like my big brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was raised like grandparents and all that, you know, I got an old school heart, you know? And so people are like, you know, you talk, you command a presence that's like more than just your age, right?
And sometimes we
Yeah.
need people younger in office.
We do need some younger generation.
people
Shout out
in
to my elders. I love y'all to
yeah,
death. But
they're
you
great, but we need
you
to.
know.
We need something a little bit newer sometimes.
know, yeah. And they can agree. A lot of them
Yeah.
like have been calling me, and I see them out and about,
Yeah.
and they're like, "It's y'all time. It's y'all generation
Yeah.
time." So I'm excited.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. Okay. We got through some of the
Yeah.
important stuff. Let's get into something fun.
Okay.
We're
let's
gonna
do it.
do a quick round.
Okay.
Okay. So we say this is quick, and then it never ends up quick. So don't worry, it doesn't have to be. So what is your coffee order?
So my wife loves coffee. I don't love coffee as
Oh.
much. So I'm more of a tea drinker.
Okay, I'll
So
accept that too.
give me some hot green tea, with some honey.
That's
Uh,
great.
Hot green tea with some honey, and I'm chilling out. I'm sipping my tea.
Oh, your wife drinks coffee.
Yeah, she loves the coffee. Like by necessity at this point because we have such young kids. It's a lot, and so
She
like we're all
needs, like,
exhausted.
4 cups a day.
Yeah. She needs the you know all of that stuff in the cup. But for me, like I just need a hot green tea and I'm okay.
That's great.
Or a smoothie.
That's great.
I like mango, strawberry, or
You're a big
strawberry
smoothie
banana.
guy?
Yeah, I'm a big smoothie guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Michigan spot?
Oh, like when people are out of town, because it's currently in my district, and it will be in my congressional, God willing. I would say the original Buddy's Pizza.
The original Buddy's
The
Pizza.
original Buddy's Pizza on 6 Mile and Conant. So
Oh my
I
gosh.
grew up over there as in Northeast Detroit. You know, like I take folks over. That's where Detroit style pizza was created.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. My husband loves
Yeah.
Buddy's Pizza. He loves it.
But you got to go to original. Now, I
Yeah.
love the chains, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like the original.
There never is.
Yeah.
Okay, are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Me too.
Yeah.
I am not. The other day I was like, let's stay up till 11 o'clock tonight.
And
It's
you be like-
Friday at like 9:05. You're like, all right, let's go to bed. Let's get up.
I know. Like, listen, I used to, like, back in undergrad days when you, like, just try to stay up and cram for
I could stay
exams
up
or
all
something.
night and then go to work the next day. No
Man,
problem.
like, those were the days where I can used to stay up, but now, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to try to stay up all through the night.
It is really hard. I can't do that anymore either. I need a full 8 hours or I'm cranky.
Yeah. No, the baby wakes us up, though. We got all the kids.
Oh, yeah?
They wake us up, so we don't get all the way
Ugh.
8 hours anymore. It's still like 2 to 3 straight. Give or
That's fine.
take.
It won't be like that forever, though. It won't be
I know.
forever. What's something that you're listening to right now? Podcast, music, book?
So I like hip hop music, gospel.
Love hip hop music.
You know, R&B, rap.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like, I'm listening to. I like a lot of the gospel rap now.
Okay.
So you know, there's a couple artists I like. Oh wait, where's my phone at? Because I'm gonna pull it up. But there's a song I'm listening to, and I can't remember the name, but I'm blasting it wherever I go. But I like the Molly music and like Jonathan Reynolds and like those gospel, like with like some bang to it, right?
Yeah,
Because it's not just hip hop, but it's gospel too.
Yeah.
And it's clean music my kids can listen to as well.
In the car.
Yeah.
What's one thing that keeps you grounded?
Knowing that everything in life is temporary.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what hardships you're going through, and no matter the great times, everything in life is temporary. So seize the moment.
Like when you get overwhelmed. It's
Yeah,
temporary.
like seize the moment and then realize, like, yo, you're unbelievably blessed. Like, we're blessed to even have this conversation.
I know.
In City Hall, with a councilman, with a state rep that's running for Congress. Like, yo, we're so unbelievably blessed. And that's really what keeps me grounded. And it's the people.
So what do you want people to take away from this conversation about you? What kind of leader do you want to be portrayed as? Like,
a servant leader first.
Yeah.
It's going to put people over politics no matter what. And it's hard to do because you and I are doing it every single day as, you know, a city council and state rep. But once we're in Congress.
People are mean sometimes.
No. People are, and they got their own agendas. But, like, siphoning through everything that's happening, I call it the politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, siphoning all through the politics. But at the end of the day, what matters most, more than anything, is being grounded in who you are and understanding whose you are, who you belong to. And so for me, like, I always like to give God a shout out, like I belong to God, but more importantly, like, I'm only doing this to take care of his children, his people, the people in the mighty 13th district and beyond. And so if you're not about, like, figuring out ways to solve problems and helping people have the best quality of life possible, get out my face. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's what we're leading this race and this campaign is about, spreading love and joy. Enough with the hate. I don't care if you don't agree with me 100%. That doesn't matter. What matter is, like, when you call, we're going to listen.
Yep.
We're going to show up, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to help. Yeah, bottom line.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. No, this is
what
amazing.
you're doing for us in our district. It's amazing. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Adriana. And I liked all the pink. Okay.
Yeah, you should have worn pink. What were you?
I know that's true. I didn't realize it was this pink. I was like, I would have worn some pink. I got a pink shirt.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another Pink Collar Candidate Conversation. This series is all about getting to know the person behind the title and giving you the space to hear directly from the people that are asking to be leaders here in our communities. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following along, and we'll see you at the next one with our next Pink Collar candidate. Make sure you guys stay pink and stay powerful. Thanks for coming.